Hey, this is Jim at Broadfield. Thanks for joining us for another Broadfield Liquid Lunch and Learn every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You will see I am being joined on today's show with Steve Wynn Mosley from LiveU. Hey, Steve, thanks for joining us.
Jim, thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Before we get into the show, we always like to give our dealers a little opportunity to join us. So we crack open a nice cold beer. It is summertime after all, right?
It's fantastic.
So we have a nice Verdosa IPA that if the can is disappearing, I apologize. They yell at me all the time about the green cans on camera. But this is an IPA out of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania.
Cheers.
Very, very good, very good. That is a nice New England IPA, very citrusy, 6.8
6.8.
6.8.
Okay.
So we'll be doing okay. Let's put it this way: the show might end a little bit differently than it starts, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
We got any compliance folk in there?
No, we'll be fine. So listen, I really, one of the best ways to get on Broadfield's Liquid Lunch is to send us a nice glassware set like LiveU did. Chuck sent this over to the team. Chuck, thank you. My favorite part about it is the decanter says teamwork makes the dream work. That's one of our logos here, slogans here at Broadfield, and it's one of the reasons why we like working with LiveU so much as well. It's a great team. Your channel team, your marketing team, really makes it easy for our dealers to do business. And, you know, that's our other slogan is anything we can do to kind of help them along. And Steve, that's why I wanted to have you on the show today.
Well, thank you so much.
We want to talk about all the great things LiveU is doing from a marketing perspective, talk about the resources that are available for our dealers, and make sure that we're kicking off the second half of the year with the tools you need to be successful. So, Steve, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I thought what we'd start to do is, first of all, I need to introduce myself.
Please do.
I like to talk about myself. I'm from the UK. You can tell that I have a very strange accent. So apologies if I speak a little bit too quickly. So I'm Steve Wynn Mosley. Some of you may know me because I used to be CMO of New Tech NDI and BizRT, but I saw the light and I've moved over to the best place to be. The reason I'm here is because it's about people. It's about people and technology. We work with some of the best partners in the world. That's you guys.
Yes.
I think we've got some amazing technology that can do amazing things if we can put it into the hands of more storytellers. And that's where you guys come in. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. So, introduction's over. You know me. I will say, if there's ever anything that you think we're not doing, don't just get frustrated. Drop me a message, Teams, WhatsApp, I don't really care, carrier pigeon. I want to hear from you so we can make things better because we need to improve. We're good, but we can always be better.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things we do with our dealers as well. Reach out to your Broadfield sales team. Your salesperson, your account representative, me and my marketing team can help get those resources available. There's a good chance if you've already created the resources, I know where to find it. If I can't find it, I'll reach out to you. I'll put my dealers in touch with you or Joyce or anyone on the team to make sure we get the right materials. And we also have dealers asking for materials that we might not have even thought of that they needed. And we love getting those requests as well. Anything to help elevate it for everybody.
Fantastic. So, real quick, what we want to do today is talk to you about something that we're calling the Solo Creator Universe. And I'll tell you what that is in just a second. I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour of some of the materials that we've got that will help you out. And then I'm going to introduce you to the LiveU ecosystem. So we've got something around Solo, which is about solution selling. And then, of course, we do the same thing across our professional services in the LiveU space. And then we'll wrap it up with a few resources. And I think those resources are in the show notes as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. So if you're watching us on Broadfield.live, all of the resources we talked about today are available there for either link or download. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, you can go to Broadfield.live for all of those resources, or once again, reach out to your Broadfield team. We'll get everything to you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jim. So let's talk about the thing that I call the Solo Creator Universe, and hopefully you will too. What is it? I'm going to have to read this because I still can't remember it all. It's for the content creators that don't want to wait till later. It's for the in-life streamers and the visionary dreamers. It's for the gamers, the never the samers. It's for the teachers in the bleachers, and it's for the preachers. It's for the sportscasters. It's for the community news broadcasters. It's for the merchandise sellers and the truth to power tellers. It's for the brand builders and the fan engagers. It's for the camera number one takers, and it's for the revenue stream makers. It's for the streamed live show that puts everyone in the front row. So don't just dream it. If you can, stream it. Using, of course, the Solo Creator Universe. So, what is it? That was my rap. I was going to sing the rap, but I wimped out, so apologies.
Our first dealer who sets that to a beat and sends it back to me will get you LiveU swag.
So moving swiftly up, what is it? Let's talk about that. At the very core of the Solo Creator Universe is the unit. So one of these, Solo Pro or Solo. And I want you to think about these as platforms. If you can put this into a storyteller's hands, that's a great job. But then what we want to be thinking about is, what do we need to do now to improve the way that they tell stories? So we have a number of products that add on to that. So the first thing you need to do is think about LRT. How are you going to bond? And yes, you know that Solo Pro, that's 6 different connections. It comes alive when you add LRT.
Sure.
Now, the interesting thing about LRT, of course, is it's a subscription service. So yes, you participate in the revenue you generate when you sell a unit. Fantastic. But every time that customer renews an LRT subscription, you also generate revenue for your business because we share that with you. That's super important.
And Steve, I just want to point out, because a lot of our vendors are focusing on that right now, LiveU has done the best job of anyone we're working with to reward the channel in participation with these subscription tools, whether it's LRT or Solo Connect, which you're going to go into next, right?
Absolutely. And I think Mike and Chuck have been really, really hammering the guys, but it's a partnership. You guys are called partners because it's a partnership.
Yeah.
We have to share the value so you can help our customers, your customers, tell better stories. That's what it's all about. So yes, we've got Solo Connect Pro, and of course Data. Again, if somebody buys that from the Solo portal, we share the revenue.
Yes.
That's the way we do it. Coming up, of course, is something called Stream Tools, and hopefully you caught Dan, who did a webinar a couple of weeks ago. What is Stream Tools? Well, real quick, it's a set of production tools. Yes, they're cloud-based, enabling people to put a holding screen. They also have some simple branding, because if you're going to invest in streaming, you want to invest in your brand. We need to put that super simple. And of course, if you're streaming, you've got to push to somewhere where people can watch it. So you need distribution building. So It does 3 essential things, and it's available, again, as a cloud service on a recurring revenue basis. You sell it, you reward it.
And Dan promised to join us on a future show when we're a little bit closer to the release. Yep. We'll get him in here. We'll get him to do a full demo, and we'll make sure that happens. Today is really about the resources and the roadmap to show you the opportunities that you can get by getting involved in LiveU, not only in Solo, but also in the professional products division as well.
Absolutely. And then, so just to wrap it up, we also have a set of peripherals, so things like bags, backpack belts, and cables. Again, they're all part of enhancing the way that somebody thinks about approaching streaming. But you and I know that you still need to add more things to the amazing boxes, which are the encoders. You need cameras and modems and switches and lights and microphones.
Most of which is available from Broadfield, by the way.
Most of which is available. LiveU doesn't do many of these things.
Right.
You guys
Our
do.
dealers do for sure. Yes.
You know these domains. So what we're trying to do is make it easier for a customer to think, I dreamt it, I need to stream it. We want to wrap that together and provide you more avenues to add more value to the customer and to yourselves that starts off with the sale of a unit and anticipate it through. So what does all that mean? Over the next 3 or 4 months, you'll see us develop out the Solo hub within LiveU.tv, and that will have a whole raft of resources aimed at verticals, from houses of worship to pro AV to photographers. They'll have value pathways that they make it super easy for them to decide what solution is right for them, and we'll start producing more direct deep links to our partners, that's you guys, so you can convert the leads that my team generate for you faster.
Perfect. And we'll help you distribute those leads. We have our nation, all of our dealers, the guys that are watching us today, once we see those opportunities to close from a regional basis, from knowing who their customer bases are, we have all that information. So we'll make sure that we work with our dealers to get those leads to the right people.
Absolutely. So I have to admit, I had to check this next slide twice because I think it's gone mad. So how do we get some rubber hitting the road? Here is a summer sizzler, and it starts with Solo, the original and best. You all know the Solo unit sitting right there.
Yep.
So this thing started the in real life revolution. Yeah. So right now, Jim crazily said, "Well, let's take $200 off that."
Yep.
But then you didn't want to stop there, did you?
No, we added the modem kit.
Then you added the modem kit, which is normally $450, but you
Yep.
went, did you want to put that in half, or did you want to take 10% off?
First of all, we didn't think you'd ever find out about it, but apparently word got back. No, but seriously, the LiveU Solo, the SDI unit, which has both SDI and HDMI, with the 2 modem kit for under $1,000, this is really the summer sizzler. Because now with the modem kit, it gives you and your customers a complete solution to whatever camera, whatever video source they're hooking up to get up and running and streaming. It's great.
It's a great opportunity to add another unit to your kit bag, giving you more horizontal flexibility. You need to cover 2 stories, you need 2 cameras and 1 shoot. Buy it now before you run out of stock.
Absolutely.
You'll just buy more, right?
Yeah, and we'll just buy more.
So that's an amazing sizzler. We also, let's just talk about the Solo Pro for a quick second. As you know, for people who are looking to upgrade from the great Solo to the Solo Pro, if they do that, then we will give them $250 of credit to use in Solo Portal. Right? So it's a great incentive to get people, again, to add an additional unit to the kit bag and to step up to 4K production and future-proof themselves that way.
And Steve, I'll remind our dealers that gives you the 4K support. It gives you the 5G support when 5G modems are available in the US. It does give you that future upgradability. But one of the things we're seeing through our dealers is the customers that are upgrading, they're not replacing the Solo unit.
No.
So this upgrade incentive allows them to keep the Solo unit in service, which is now being relegated maybe to camera 2 or as a backup system, and still get the Solo Pro to get all those additional features and capabilities.
And that's absolutely right. In Europe, we're seeing people really, really valuing the fact that you can spread the load across a 4G spectrum and a 5G spectrum.
Yep.
That just adds a whole raft of performance benefits, which hopefully the US, when it catches up, I know you.
Oh, please. Cellular monopolies. That's what it's about.
So that's the great offer, and that's still running. And then just real quick, let's just talk about the fact that every time that we together sell software in a recurring revenue basis, if you've done one thing, if you've given your customer your promo code, your customer gets 5% off everything they buy in Solo Portal from now until the day before the end of time.
Absolutely.
But more importantly, we can track it back to you, and we'll give you a kickback every quarter for everything that customer buys. So make sure you're using that promo code and that all of your sales guys are giving it to the end user, because it's value for them, it's value for you, and of course it's value for us.
Absolutely. A coupon code solo-company name, whatever your company name is. If you don't have the promo code, if you lost track of the promo code, reach out to your Broadfield sales team. We have a full list of them. We can share that with you. If you want to put a sticker on every LiveU Solo box that you ship out to remind your customers to use that code, the great thing is that there is an incentive for the end user. They get 5%.
Absolutely.
And that's the key for getting your recurring revenue. So to link those all together is just a great thing to do.
Absolutely. It just works all the way. So that was the Solo Creator Universe, and you'll see more of that as we go through the summer. And we've got a couple of interesting, exciting events lined up around the Creator Universe as we begin to make it even more real for the end user, all designed to get people to ask your guys, what is a Solo and how do I stream?
Sure.
So let's change. Real quick, there's a whole raft of marketing support that you guys can access, and it's in the knowledge base. And the links are here. But reach out to Jim if you have any questions around that, and we'll be able to help you out.
And this is just the start. We're adding to these. Part of what we've talked about today is what case studies could be added, what other content could be added. There's going to be units going out to publishing partners out in the industry. So this is a list that is a live list that is growing and growing and growing to get that demand generation out there.
Absolutely. And I want you to be really clear. my team's attention is firmly on Solo Pro, right? And
Okay.
Solo. We've got a lot of content, and we were talking yesterday about brainstorming some crazy ideas. I won't share some of them here, but it's going to be pretty interesting. Moving swiftly on, let's change gear and look at what we call the LiveU ecosystem. And I know many of you are now selling into tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, larger production houses, and there's some great opportunities to maximize some revenue for you. So, exactly like the solo creator universe, what is the LiveU ecosystem? It's built on two pillars. The first pillar is a set of benefits. Everything inside the LiveU ecosystem must deliver quality to the storyteller. When I'm talking quality, yes, that's 5 nines reliable uptime. If you're going live, you don't want to go dark.
Right.
That's just table stakes.
Yep.
But it's also about the quality of your production. So think about the LU800, a 4-camera switchable remote unit. If you've got 4 cameras, you can go multi-cam, you can go remote. For sports, that's amazing because you can increase the quality of the engagement and just the eye appeal of your production right from one unit. So quality is about, yes, reliability, but it's also quality about production values.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next step is adaptability. Everything we sell must fit with your changing business. Your businesses and your customers' businesses are changing. We all know. Let's not even talk about COVID. We've done that.
Please don't.
But the world changed. What didn't change? Your units.
Right.
What didn't change, if you were smart enough, were the workflows that you push to your customers because they are adaptable.
Absolutely.
So we try and break that into everything we do.
And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so easy to sell LiveU, because there is the track record of that our dealers are comfortable offering to any mission critical production, knowing that they'll have the tools they need not only for that specific project, but for other projects that come along.
Absolutely. So take that workflow and be able to adapt it and use it without having to retool, retrain, and think again. Right?
Yes.
That muscle memory to go live fast.
Absolutely.
And of course, everyone right now is talking about efficiency. How can I produce more content for less? Right?
Yes.
And unless we can prove efficiency, whether that's replacing a truck, whether that's replacing a camera roll or a cable roll, efficiency is at the heart of everything we do.
And I'll tell you, efficiency can just be being able to produce video where it's happening.
Absolutely.
You're not recording it, bringing it back into a studio, post-producing it, editing it, and then streaming it.
Absolutely.
To stream it live while it's happening, which is exactly what the LiveU ecosystem does for you, is really the perfect story for anyone out there producing.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole we internally we talk about shortening workflows, and what do we mean by that? It's exactly as you just said.
Yeah.
Why spend time thinking I've got to take this clip, I've got to edit it, I mean, bumper, there's a cleaner, whatever. If you approach everything as if you're going to produce it as live, get it right first time, go to where, monetize, move on.
Exactly.
Shorten the workflow, more content for less.
Absolutely.
So we have a crazy bunch of R&D guys. You've met some of them. They're always thinking about this. So we needed to give them some guide rails because the LiveU ecosystem can get really quite large.
Yes.
So the first guide rail is, at its heart, its lifeblood is LRT, right? LiveU, reliable transport. You all know what that is. Right? Reliable, low latency, high quality. It's the only IP video protocol which is expressly designed not to care about wires. Everybody else is sort of adapting to be wire-free. LRT is natively wire-free. That's why we can rely on it. So it's at the heart of what we do. But it pains me to say, it's not the only IP video standard out there. So the ecosystem will play nicely with SRT, with SMPTE 2110, with NDI. Any IP video status or protocol we will consume because we know that that's how your customers are producing video right now. So we want to be IP standard agnostic.
Perfect.
And we'll do that more and more. Then we have this concept which is dynamic hybrid. What is a dynamic hybrid? Well, many people go, it's all about the cloud. Is it? It's all about on-prem. Well, actually, it's all about the right way to deploy your workflow for the job that's in hand. So when we talk about dynamic hybridity, it's not about SDI or baseband versus IP and compression. It's not about on-prem or in cloud. It's about giving our customers the flexibility to do the right thing at the right time. And that's super important because take that concept that we have for Solo, where we say, if we sell recurring revenue through the Solo portal, we will reward you. Well, guess what? We do exactly the same thing for LiveU. If you sell a recurring revenue service, so a subscription to an LU800, and we know about it, still reg, we'll reward you.
Right.
Right? And that's super important. Right? So you're always part of the transaction, always part of the conversation, because you're closer to the customer. And so we're relying on you to continue that conversation.
Absolutely. And that's what allows our dealers to really recommend the right solution, whether it's a mix of the hardware, the cloud, the software, it all works together in that LiveU ecosystem.
Absolutely. And then because it's an ecosystem, exactly like the solo creator universe, where we rely on people selling PTZs and cameras to complete it, we know that in the LiveU ecosystem, it's value-added technology partners like AWS, like Avid for newsroom control systems, and a whole host of other people that we've spent time making sure they play nicely with our technology, so the
Perfect.
customer doesn't have to worry about interoperability. Super important. What makes it all possible, of course? Good old LRT.
Absolutely.
Here's a real quick look at what's in there. It's a busy slide, but the thing I want you to take away from this is there's 3 domains. We are famous for the backpack. Right? I'm super happy that we're famous for the backpack.
Right.
But the backpack's about contribution. We got that nailed. You know more than I do about contribution. You'll see us moving more into the production space. So there's already our REMI tools, things like IP pipe and video return. We've added, as you saw in NAB, LiveU Studio, which is a cloud-based production system, entirely cloud-based. But we also have things like Ingest, which does clip and record and make sure you never miss a shot because you're automatically recording your feeds as they're coming in. We then have Matrix, which is really a supercharged distribution platform or a monetization engine, as I think about it, about getting your content to people who are going to pay you for it.
Yep.
And all of those are cloud-based services. And again, if we sell the cloud-based service to your customer, we will ensure that you're kept in the transaction loop.
Perfect.
The thing that ties it all together, of course, is if a customer's got access to LiveU Central, the control platform, they can see everything that's in their LiveU ecosystem. So it's super convenient for the customer to manage their estate.
And that's where the entire production team can be managed very quickly and very easily with all these tools at play, with creating that proper distribution model to ultimately get the message out to the end user.
Absolutely. And then just as we did with Solo, let's have some summer specials. So we got 3 promotions that I'll just run through real quick. If you need more information, then reach out to Jim. He's got all of the detail. The first one up is if you buy or subscribe to a LiveU 300S, so the encoder unit, then we will give you 3 months free of LiveU Studio for free to get going. So if you experience or your customers are wanting to explore cloud-based production, this is a great entry point.
Absolutely.
So, and we'll just say that this will run for the quarter. It expires on the 15th of September, so you do need to move fast. In fact, all of them have the same expiry date. Next up, I talked about the LU800, 4 camera from a single unit or 1 camera on 4K, full HD. What we want you to do is to add all of the value-add software overlays into one box and say, you know what, we're just going to give it to you for free. So if you subscribe or buy an LU800, you'll get the whole kit, all of the REMI tools thrown in for free for 6 months. Knock yourselves out. So if customers are looking to explore the next level, this is a great stepping stone towards that.
And 6 months is really a good trial period for your customers to see, these are all the tools available to me. Now, what do I need? What's going to benefit my production? What do I invest in? What do I pay for? Yeah. And now they have all that time to make that educated decision.
And it's exactly that. It was a conversation we had, which was, I don't want to pay for things I don't need.
Right.
So brilliant. Don't pay for it. Have it for free. Work out what you need, and then we can have a conversation later about what you do need to pay for.
Absolutely, and it helps you realize what you really need.
Absolutely. And then the final promotion is, of course, it's like the horse and carriage. Love a marriage one. Having a unit is fantastic, but you need something to catch it, right?
Yes.
So what we've done is to say, look, if you a customer buys any of our units, rack mounted or mobile, takes any receiver, cloud based, so Cloud Connect or rack mounted, don't care, then we will give you 3 months free to get going. So it's 15 months for the price of 12. Right? we're doing that because we want people to understand that this is accessible, they can control it, but we want to share some of the risk. We're saying, try this, add it to your estate. You've got 3 months to try out maybe an experimental program type of event, or to spin up a new team, or to build out your new studio. It just gives you a slightly longer runway to kind of get used to it.
If it was an infomercial, we would say 25% more. Buy now.
Absolutely. But it's there 3 months free. So again, all of those promotions are live now, and then they expire on the 15th of September to give you guys some time to hit the rubber on the road.
Great. And if you have quotes out there, reach out to Glenn and Logan. They can help update your quotes, make sure that you communicate these promotions to your customers, and maybe that'll be what you need to pull those quotes across the finish line and help get them closed. And that's why these promos exist.
Absolutely. And as with all of our promos, in the Marketing Materials Hub, then you will find all collateral that supports those promotions. You'll get some videos, and there's a whole raft of marketing material right there for you to use. Please do use it. And as Jim said earlier, if there's something that's not there, he really wants to know, because then he'll bite the hell out of me to make sure we do something about it.
Absolutely. And we did email this to all dealers, I believe, last week. So check your email inbox. We have links to the marketing kits online. If there's anything you need that's not there, please let us know. We'll make sure we get that to you.
Excellent. I think that was all I had. I mean, all I've got to say is...
That's all we had.
That's all.
That's all. Just a little bit today.
I just want to say we really appreciate the work that you guys are doing out in the field. And, you know, we've got your backs, and keep the communications flowing through, Jim, because there's a wealth of opportunity out there, particularly as people are thinking of more and more about how they cloudify, how they add flexibility to their production, and how they can produce more content for less.
Absolutely. And Steve, what I really like, and one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on camera today, is our dealers know how strong the LiveU channel support team is. To know that you also have the support of their global marketing team. Steve is here in the US visiting us, talking about all these great resources available, building out all this great stuff to support the promotions. If you're not selling LiveU products, now is the time to get involved. Reach out to your Broadfield sales team. Give us a call at 800-634-5178. We can onboard you. We can talk about your customer profile, whether it's broadcast, sports, or any other vertical that they service. There's going to be a major focus on public safety, public access, and community involvement with the LiveU professional products. So if you service those markets, let's have that conversation. Let's go after these growth opportunities together. Involve your Broadfield account rep. Let's get our sales engineers with Logan and Glenn involved, and let's make sure we get the marketing materials we need to support it all. Thank you for joining us this week. Steve, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me, man.
Really appreciate it. So definitely reach out to your Broadfield sales team at 800-634-5178 and tune in to Broadfield every week, Thursday at 1 p.m. for Broadfield's Liquid Lunch and Learn. I know it's the summer. I know a lot of things are happening. We have a great schedule set up for you every Thursday afternoon. So tune in at broadfield.live or join us on LinkedIn Live. And until next week, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, man. Thanks, all.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers. So call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.